Welcome back to MELANIN Militant, everybody. As always, I'm your host, Shannon Mixon. So today's topic is something that's long overdue. And by the title, Protect Black Women, I don't mean to be condescending or patronizing in any way. It's just that I felt the need to highlight the treatment or mistreatment, really, of black women in our society, not just by white people or other races, but by black people as well. But before I get into it, as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. So I want to start off by bringing up a story that went viral this past fall. A lot of you might be familiar with it. On September 23rd of 2019, 60-year-old black woman by the name of Sheila Henry down in Houston, Texas, was assaulted early morning when she was filling up her truck at a gas station, and she was robbed by two black teens. So they approached her, demanded that she give over the keys to the truck. When she refused, they knocked her to the ground, started hitting her, took the keys from her, got in the truck and fled. Luckily, the truck was found the next morning, but I believe like the radio was missing and there was, other things stolen from it, other damages done to the truck. Once this story in the video, the surveillance video, went viral, there was a ton of outrage on social media by just regular everyday people and even celebrities, like rappers T.I. and Trader Truth. They spoke out against it, condemning these two young men for doing what they did and just letting it be known that stuff like this won't be tolerated, and that's what needs to be done. That way we hold these people accountable and these things don't keep happening. Shout out to guys like Trader Truth and T.I. for doing things like that, and especially Trader Truth for visiting Miss Sheila Henry, and he actually helped pay for the repairs to her truck. And that's exactly what black men need to do in situations like this. They set the standard to show how we need to operate in situations like this. That way they don't continue to happen. So if you haven't seen the video, I will put the link to it in the description down below. But my point really of bringing this up is just like, how can you do this? The two young men that were responsible for it, 15 and 16-year-old young black men. My first question when I find out that it's two young black men that did this is, how do you not see, your mom or your grandma or your aunt when you look at this 60-year-old black woman? How do you not see, a member of your own family? And I think, how would you feel if you found out that it was your mom, your grandma, your aunt who was assaulted? You know what I'm saying? So, I guess not everybody, is made the same way, wired the same way to think like that. But it just blows my mind that you can't see this woman as like, an extension of your family, and that wouldn't be enough to make you second guess doing what you did. You know what I mean? I'm mind blown by it. I just think, who raised you? You would just think that these young men would have black women in their life that they would die for, that, it would kill them inside to find out that this happened to them, and it would prevent them from doing this themselves. And I know not all black people are monolithic. That goes without saying. But there is one thing that I think black people should all follow by, and it's honestly the black codes that were set out by the Black Panther Party. And if you just look at the black codes that they created, they clearly state, we don't steal from our own, and we protect our women and children at all costs. Because if it's not us protecting our women and children, then who will it be? Another reason I felt it important to do this episode is I'm of the belief that black women are the most disrespected, forgotten, and most marginalized person in the entire country. Not only is she black and female, but she also has to deal with the residual effects of her black husband, black boyfriend, whomever, because she is the backbone. Again, in my opinion, she's the backbone and the core of a good black family structure. So, she deals with everything else that everyone else is burdened with, on top of whatever else she is burdened with herself personally. And, we as black men, we can't succeed without a black woman in our life. If you look at any successful black man in the world, whether it's his mom, grandmother, aunt, sister, cousin, whoever, I guarantee you can find a strong black woman in his family. So that's why I wanted to stress this topic again. It's just that, just to show how much we really do need them in our lives as black men. And this is not just opinion that I'm basing everything that I'm saying off of. Y'all know I had to come with the facts, the statistics to back up what I'm saying. Just through the little bit of research that I've done, I found that 4 out of 10 black women experience physical violence. Other races is much lower. They experience much higher rates of psychological abuse, whether that's humiliation, name calling, things of that nature. They are more than 20%, or more than 20% of black women are raped, which is higher than all women overall in the country. And they're 2.5 times more likely to be murdered, and 9 out of 10 of those victims actually knew their killer, according to a 2015 study. You can even look at young black girls in school. Black girls are 1/3 of those referred to law enforcement officials. They are 40% of those arrested in school for various types of incidents, and they are 4 times more likely than white girls to be imprisoned. So wherever you look, you can see that there is gross mistreatment of black women that again needs to be highlighted, needs to be taken care of, needs to be amended, needs to be brought to the surface. That way it doesn't continue to take place. Now, another thing I think about and I question when I see a Sheila Henry being assaulted and have her car stolen from her, and when I see the research that I found about black women and their mistreatment and abuse, is just, how do we get here? What are the causes for this mistreatment? And to be completely honest, the thing that I think most heavily influenced the state in which we're at, where these things can happen to black women, is black men. I truly hold us responsible for this. We haven't protected and loved and cherished black women as much as we should have. To quote David Banner, I heard him say in an interview once, we're the ones that said, fuck bitches, get money. We made that a culture. We passed that off as a culture, and we made that okay. We made it, we allowed it by perpetuating that as just culture, like that's just what we do. But it's not just what we do. You know what I mean? I've said plenty of times before, black women are more than just their looks. They're more than the aesthetic. They are the backbone and the structure for our families. We weigh heavily on them. So the mistreatment has to be brought to the light. The mistreatment has to be stopped, and it has to be taken seriously. So that's it for this episode. I wanted to make this short, sweet, and concise. I don't think it gets any more clear that black men, we have some work to do when it comes to stepping up to the plate, calling out these actions when we see them, holding people responsible for the times in which they may mistreat black women. When you see Miss Sheila Henry getting assaulted and her car jacked at a gas station, there's other viral videos of black women being assaulted on subway trains, and there's plenty of other men, including black men, standing around not doing anything. Things like that, they can't just keep, we can't just keep letting them slide. They have to be brought to the light. They have to be talked about, and we have to change. Like I said in the beginning of this episode, the title Protect Black Women isn't meant to be patronizing or condescending. It's just that black men need to be told a message. This episode is a message to black men, because it is paramount. It is imperative. It is of the utmost importance that we protect black women. Thanks for watching.